Hey guys, Cronus Falls here, and today I am bringing you my first ranked Valorant game. So I am recording this in post. I recorded the video while I was playing, but I did want to concentrate, so I'm basically going to be commentating on what I was doing, what I was thinking during the time, and we'll just see how it goes here. So we're going into the first round here. This is a pistol round, so I went ahead, I bought the classic and some light armor, I stayed with the classic, bought some light armor and got my utility. So now I'm just going to be waiting here for B long. I'm taking up this position to cover most of my body. Now remember, this is my first ranked game, so everyone here is going to be pretty low elo. So I'm basically just covering up the majority of myself. That way they will not get as many hits. But as you can see, the jet just rushes in there. Everyone's coming in. So I'm going to go ahead and call out to my team that they are rushing B. And hope for some support here as I back up. They're engaging me through the door. And I go ahead and throw out my paranoia. And they close the door, allowing me to back up, get a heal from the Sage, and regroup with my team. So now we're going for the retake here. I see the Cypher, get a hit off on him. Luckily, I catch Reyna out of the corner of my eye as I come around the corner and manage to take her out. So go ahead and block the sight lines for back sight. But as I come through here, Phoenix is peeking through the other side and manages to take me out. So now we're watching Sage here. She's coming in, taking some shots at the jet, missing all of them. Backs up to reload. And now she's going to come out here, sees the Cypher, manages to completely whiff every shot, and boom, there she goes. Cypher takes her down, but Cypher quickly gets traded out by Raze. Now the jet here is just stalling for time so that the bomb can't be defused. She's completed her job, so she's going to go ahead and back off. And that is the end of round one. We have lost. That's going to hurt us in the next round as well because our economy is going to be lower. So I'm just going to come in here, do a light buy, grab my light armor and utility, and then come back in here and hope to win this round so I can come back stronger next round. So basically this is just econ. I'm looking to save up enough that next round I can come in with a rifle and heavy armor. So Phoenix has decided to back me up on B here this time. So we're going to throw out the smoke right at the start. Oh no, actually I decided not to here because Phoenix was going to flash. He gets taken out immediately. Reyna orb, they're rushing hard on B again. So we're going to go ahead and back up here. I managed to take out the jet, but then I get traded out, unfortunately. I probably shouldn't have taken that engagement. I don't know why I did. Maybe if I had like a Vandal or a Phantom, that would have been fine. But going in there with just the classic was a pretty dumb move. So now my team's coming in to try and pincer, but they've closed the door, so he's not going to be able to. So he's going to back off, come over here towards the long side coming from our spawn. Reyna's right around that corner again and manages to take out our Sage. Sounds looking pretty bad for us, 2v4. The robot gets taken down. Raze jumps in here trying to get something, but Phoenix is waiting for her and takes her out as soon as she comes in. And now it's just our Cypher left. Not much hope of a 1v3. He does manage to take out the enemy Cypher though. So it's a 1v2. The timer's ticking down, and that's going to be it. Reyna's going to come in and finish him off. So we lose round 2 as well. But now coming into round 3, it's going to be our first real gun round. So we can come in here, get our full buy. So I've got all my utility. I've got my Vandal. I've got my heavy armor. So looking pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and take up this back position on B here. I've been playing a little bit forward every time, but I want to switch it up. Make sure that they don't know exactly where I'm coming from. Now that I've got this gun, I feel more confident in actually taking engagements. So I throw out my smoke at the start. I can hear them already coming through. There we go. I take out the Phoenix's ult. And then we're waiting to see if anyone comes through. I do see one peek. Go for some wall bangs, but don't get it. Reyna manages to push me out with her evil eye. Sage wall comes up. She's up on top of the wall. I'm missing my shots, but luckily not really taking any damage there. Hit her a couple times. Not enough to kill. So I decided to teleport over here in order to get a new angle on them. Take out the Phoenix. Take out the Sage. Now we're looking pretty decent, but I get flanked by the jet, so it's just her left. We have Cypher and Raze left on our team, so we're looking pretty good. But there goes Cypher. Now it's a 1v1 between our Raze and their Jet. Could go either way here. But our Raze comes in. She's checking her angles, which is good. And there we go. We see the Jet. She goes for the spray and manages to take her down. Beautiful. So she managed to control her spray pretty well there. Even though her aim wasn't great to start with, she still manages to get the kill. Now I can't afford to go for a Vandal again this round. So I'm going Econ, just taking a Ghost and Light Armor and Utility. That way next round I can come in with another full buy. So I decided to come over to A this time, but they are all coming over there, so I decided I'm actually going to probably check out mid, see if we can potentially get a flank going, get my smoke out at the start, and then start to flank. They really haven't been playing the flank at all so far, so I figure it's a pretty safe play to come in here at this point. So I'm coming up. I see that they are not here, so I figure they're at A. So I'm going to go ahead and rotate around, look for a flank here. But I see that our people are already going down, so I decided to come in short. Get one kill off there on the Phoenix. Don't get the Sage, unfortunately. Now they're going to go ahead and start to close the door on me, I think. Go for a wallbang, but don't get it. Throw out some smoke. So I guess they didn't close the door on me. Phoenix throws in some fire, but doesn't get much off of it. With that Sage Orb, I can't really push through my smoke, so we come through here to Heaven. So our Cypher is put down a little trap there, but no one's up. Phoenix manages to flash me with that, so I have to back up, unfortunately. But he goes ahead and throws out his wall, so we can try and approach. Jump up to see if I can get a vantage point. Nothing. Check out Hell. Get the Phoenix. See Cypher, but unfortunately Reyna is going to get me from behind there. She's over at Long. And that is it for us. We've been cleaned up. So on to the next round. Things are not going super well for us so far. 1 and 3 in the rounds. But I do have my Vandal again here, and I can go ahead and play it up a little closer this time. We're going to go ahead and watch B. We see Sage is watching mid. And we've got our Phoenix over here as well. So I decided to play in the back a little bit since he's playing pretty far forward. Get my smokes out. I'm expecting them to come B again this time. He throws out a flash, so I try to avoid it, but luckily it goes past his wall. And he rushes in and gets killed immediately, which is typically what happens when defenders try to rush like that. We get the Evil Eye coming out from Reyna. Try and take a shot at her, but don't manage to land it. I figured that Jet was going to be coming, so I backed up a little bit to get the kill there. But unfortunately, we've lost the sight, so we're going to have to try and retake here. They come in, manage to get a pick on Reyna, but that is going to be the end for me due to the Phoenix. So now our Sage goes down here trying to take out theirs. And now it's a 1v3 again. Raze tries for an ulti, but no one was there to take it, so that's going to be the end of her. Phoenix takes her down. And into the next round, we are really looking bad here. I was thinking at this point, man, like, am I really going to lose my first ranked game? That's going to be brutal, like, because I assume that the way it works is the first ranked game you go into as they're trying to figure out your placement is going to be the lowest level. So even though I was going positive here, I was feeling a little down because if I'm going to be losing in my first game, that's not going to be looking too promising for future games. So I go ahead, I try and play up a little closer here, throw out my smoke. Raze unfortunately moves over to my side, which makes Phoenix think that there is someone over here, so he comes in and manages to kill me, and then the Raze, her little boom bot, actually created a sort of smoke cloud, so I couldn't see him approach. So now we're just watching the Sage here. It is a 3v5, which is not favorable for us. They managed to get down the wall there due to the Phoenix fire. So it's going to be pretty tough to retake the site. They've gone ahead and planted, and they are just really rushing B hard and taking it out on us. We're 1v4 at this point. I went ahead and called out that the Reyna would be there to the Sage, but she still gets taken down. Didn't even get a shot off, so I was a little bummed about that as well. So our Phoenix playing pretty good. He's got a Vandal here, I believe. Managed to pick it up from one of the enemies. Gets his Molotov down, but in a 1v3 scenario, not much you can do. The Cypher takes him out. He didn't get blinded because of his little screen there that he puts up. So 1-5, still looking really bad for us. Come in with the Vandal. Now, they've been pushing B really hard. So at this point, I'm asking Sage, please come in and wall off B. My teammate's been asking her to do it for a couple of rounds, but she just will not. She doesn't listen at all. I assume she might have muted us or something, but I don't know. Maybe she's just doesn't care and wants to play her own way. So we go ahead. I'm not going to smoke it off this time just to try and throw them off because that's what I've been doing every time. But we don't actually see an approach, so I'm going to go ahead and rotate here, assuming that they're going to A since they've been pushing so hard. Managed to get a pick there at A short. Now we're moving up. So since there was one there, I'm assuming there's going to be more. So I take it a little quick, jump around the corner, and manage to take out the Sage. Honestly, if she had better aim, I would have definitely lost that one. But it worked out. So I'm coming around here, looking for the flank. Don't manage to finish off the Phoenix, and the Cypher trap gets me. Luckily, he's backed up pretty good, though. Manages to take out our Cypher. So I go for the Paranoia. Raze comes in to shoot at him. I was hoping to go 2v1, but Raze backed up there, so we didn't actually get 2v1, and I just get down without being traded, unfortunately. Now everyone's approaching 1v1, and we finally managed to take him out, but it was pretty bad, honestly, just walking into his fire. Alright, so now I try and go for a Vandal, but I realize quickly I don't have the money to full buy here, so I'm going to go ahead and go for an Econ round, take my pistol, and come in. Now the rest of my team, I noticed, didn't seem to have a great grasp of the economy, so that's why I'm buying on my own here, not following their lead, because honestly they weren't buying super well, and I wanted to make sure that I could at least get in my full buy rounds when I needed to. So I went ahead and got my smoke out there. They managed to take out her bot early. Now I bought the Sheriff here because I wanted to try it out. I know it is pretty decent. You can get one-shot headshots with this gun, but I'd never used it before. I'm going to back up here and proceed to whiff all of my shots. Backing up, looking for a flank. Forget it only has 6 bullets, so I come around here, one shot, have to reload and die. So, yeah, pretty brutal there. So as far as defense is going, obviously we're not looking too good. 2-5, and we do manage to take this one as well, I believe. Cypher's waiting for the Phoenix ults. He pops up and finishes him. So 3-5. Now we're looking a little bit better, a lot closer than we were before, down when we were, what, 1-5, I think it was. So now that we've kind of gotten better at rotating, we're starting to bring it back a little bit. We know that they like to push very hard. So as we rotate, we can kind of punish them on that front. So I'm going to go ahead and go for my smokes here like I normally do. But go for a flank as well through mid. Like I said before, they don't really seem to be playing mid at all. So I'm just going to go for it. Make sure to check out A short just because I did get a kill there a round or two ago. There we go. I see the Cypher coming up through mid, so I go ahead and hold back. My teammates are firing in there, so I assume they're still playing mid, and the Phoenix flash does come through. We see the Reyna pop out. I got her with my Paranoia, but unfortunately the Sage beats me in our little 1v1 there.
You fought well.
So now we're down to a 2v3. We have our Sage and Cypher versus their Sage, Reyna, and Phoenix. Down to a 1v2. Cypher, our only player remaining. Now 1v2 is pretty tough because you can't take a trade while they can, but if you play it right, it can work out for you. So our Cypher decides he does want to go ahead and give it a shot here. He walks up and he sees the Sage. He goes for the shots, misses all of them, then turns the corner right as the Sage comes back and loses, unfortunately. Like I said, these are going to be like the lowest or lower level elo players, so some of the plays you're going to see here hurt. I'm sure some of the plays that I do that you're watching hurt as well. They hurt me on the inside, believe me. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead here. I see I have 3,400, so I'm going to go for a econ round again. Go ahead and take my ghost and some light armor. Make sure I have enough for a full buy next round. And once again, I'm going to go ahead and check out the mid. So we get the smoke out. And basically the reason I'm doing that every round is just so that they can't peek for free. As long as I get some smoke on that corner, they basically have to do a wide approach. Now I make sure to throw out the paranoia there just in case anyone was there. I didn't want them peeking me. Check my corners, no one. I see the jet there. Sage approaches me from the side. I actually had the the headshot lined up there, and I was so mad because she crouched immediately, so my lined up headshot ended up not hitting her at all. So that's just how it goes sometimes. Now our Sage manages to miss those shots as well. She gets taken down. Almost got him though. I think she did manage to get a body shot off. Phoenix trying to heal himself up here before he approaches, but our Cypher's going ahead and going on without him, and he does manage to take him out as he's planting. So good stuff. We are still 4 and 6, pretty close to even here, not falling too far behind. So still looking way better than we were at the start of the match. So I'm going to go ahead and come in here to play B again. Now I'm looking to take up this kind of back angle here, get my smoke out, and just try and catch them running in. As I was doing towards the start of the game, I made sure to mix it up and go for mid a couple of times because I didn't want them to be expecting me. Phoenix is playing pretty far forward as well, so even if they're coming after me, he can potentially take them by surprise. So now we see the Phoenix wall coming out. Phoenix decides that he wants to play it pretty aggressive, so he jumps in there, flashes me unfortunately, but he does manage to get a couple of kills off there, which is nice. Goes in for a Molotov. I see Cypher come out. He manages to take out our Phoenix, but he gets traded out. So now we're in a 4v2, looking pretty good. I go for the, what's it called? Paranoia, just to try and blind them, but my teammates don't really move in on it, so they get, one of them gets taken out unfortunately, but it gets traded and it does work out for us. So 5 to 6 going into the last round before the switch. We're actually looking pretty decent here. If we can go ahead and win this round, then we're going to be even going into halftime. So at this point, I was starting to feel pretty good. Like our team was starting to kind of come together, play a little bit more cohesively, and we were getting a lot more rounds off recently than we were at the very start, which was good. So I decided to go ahead and take the same approach here. Get my smoke out, play in the back line. Hear the Phoenix ult, so I go ahead and move up because I could tell that they were over in A. We also have Cypher revealing one of them, so I know for sure, so I go ahead and make sure to do a quick rotation. But as I was about to throw my smokes out, I see Cypher has revealed us, so there's no point. I'm just going to go ahead and move up. See this door is closed, so I'm going to take it out, but then instead of moving in through there, go ahead and rotate up through heaven. See the jet here and manage to trade out for our Sage. So at this point, it is a 2v4, not looking great for us. I throw a smoke down there to make them think, hopefully, that that's where we're coming from. Take out the Cypher trap. Now we're looking. I decide they're probably in hell, so I jump down, managed to get to the paranoia off, but it didn't work out. Cypher still got the kill on me. Now our raise goes down to the Sage, and that is going to be the end of us. So 5 to 7 going into the end of the first half. Now we're back to a pistol round, so I'm going to go ahead and stick with my classic here and grab some light armor and utility. That's the way I've decided to go. I like being able to fill up on my utility, even though I definitely don't use it as much as I should. It seems like I hardly ever teleport, which I really need to be doing more often, but as I play more, I'll definitely get more used to it. So now we wait through the super long gun round timers before we can actually get into the match. I feel like they should really drop those timers by at least like 8 seconds or so. Because, I mean, honestly, gun round is when you need the least amount of time, so I don't know what's up. You can go ahead and come in here. No one peeking. So I tend to take up a little more of an entry frag type role. So I go ahead and smoke off heaven. I'm going to come in here. I'm expecting someone on the left. I'm going to go ahead and take out the Cypher here. Sight looks pretty clear. So we move in. We close the door and teleport up here. And just hope to block off heaven. We've got Raze throwing up a grenade just in case. Doesn't manage to catch anyone out though. We get Sage coming up here, and as I'm reloaded, Reyna comes up. It takes me down to 9. I go ahead and throw my Paranoia out just to try and make sure that she doesn't push up on us. So now I'm just taking the angle, trying to make sure she doesn't come out of there. My teammates are pretty well set up to guard all the other angles, and it's just the Reyna left. So as we're getting closer to the end of the round though, one of my teammates goes hunting her, and I'm just going to go ahead and back off so that the spike detonation doesn't kill me. And I can go ahead and keep my credits here. And now we're just waiting for it to explode. There we go. And that's a win. So the Reyna decided to just back off, keep her gun, and go into the next round with a little bit better advantage. Which is smart, because going against like a 1v4 or 1v5, I think it was actually, just is not the way to go. So now I look at what my team's doing and I think about it. I'm like, all right, yeah, let's just go anti-eco full out. So even if I die here, I'm not going to have enough to full buy next round. But the idea is we want to just go ahead and squash them and get another win in to tie it up. And that way they won't be able to full buy the next round either. So I'm going to go ahead and come in here. And again, I'm going to go pretty far forward, block off heaven once more. Phoenix goes in with a flash, so I'm just going to go ahead and approach. Cypher, unfortunately, gets me there. And as I'm backing up, the Phoenix manages to take me out from heaven. So now we're actually looking pretty rough here. 3v5. Lots of utility coming out from the opposing team. And our aim just is not on point. For some reason, our Phoenix has decided to try and plant right there while there's still a bunch of enemies on site. So he gets taken down, and that's going to be the end of us for our anti-eco round. So that really ended up hurting us, losing on that round. It's going to hurt our economy a lot, because next round our opponents are actually going to be in a much better economic position, even though they did lose the initial gun round. So now I'm just going to go ahead and go with my classic again here, I think. Let's see. We go ahead and decide to move on to B site since we just lost over at A. So look at how much I have left to go. And I decided to go for heavy armor and a ghost, because that's still going to give me enough for next round apparently. So my team's looking to play mid, so I'm going to go for long. That way we have approaches on multiple sides. So I go ahead and move up here. My teammates are making a lot of noise though, so the enemies probably already know where we're coming from. I go ahead and throw out a Paranoia, but the Cyber Cage comes up right as I try to approach. So that Cypher basically ended up wasting my Paranoia, which was a really good move by him. See the Sage Orb coming in, so I have to back up. Don't want to get slowed in a doorway. Now I'm just watching mid, taking a look at that angle the Sage Orb came from. And I'm going to move up towards sight with that little robot helping me out. Come in. Unfortunately, Raze jumped right in front of Cypher there, so I didn't actually see him. And he goes ahead and takes both of us out. Upon the replay, I could catch a little glimpse of him, but yeah, I was pretty upset when that happened. Alright, so now they're coming up, taking us out. We were pretty outmanned and outgunned there, so we're going to lose that round. And now we're down 6-9. Again, looking pretty rough for us. But I do manage to full buy this round. So we're going to go ahead and move back towards A. One of the guys on the other team's being a little bit toxic in the chat, but that's fine. Alright, so we really need to turn it around at this point. 6-9, they're getting pretty close to winning. We still have to win 7 more games, whereas they only have to win 4, which is a huge advantage towards them. But we're going to go ahead and push up here. And once again, my teammates like to make a lot of noise as we're approaching, so unfortunately we're blown before we ever even get out there. But I do notice the Phoenix on Heaven, as he likes to do. So basically he is playing pretty predictably, and I managed to punish him for that. Now, since we have the cyber cage out, we decided to be a little more gutsy, but we actually have Jet flying from above, gets a lucky headshot on me, because as you probably know, as she's flying, most of her shots are not very accurate, but for some reason that one was. So I think she was just spraying and got a lucky hit. But now we've managed to take the site. We just have to stop them from reclaiming at this point. Cypher drops down, but manages to get taken out. Sage dropping down and getting taken out as well. Now it's just Reyna, and she's been revealed by our Cypher. So that is going to be a win for us. And we are looking better. Back in the fight here. Still down by 2 rounds, but not too bad. And we can go ahead and buy here. Now, unfortunately, one of our players went AFK at this point. And so we're going into the round 4v5. He does come back, but it was a little bit of a disadvantage coming into this one, unfortunately. Alright, so we've got our full buy. We're looking pretty good. We're going for A again since we just won there. And we move up. And we'll see here. We actually don't get a lot of noise coming from our teammates until right then. He puts out his camera and gets shot down immediately, so we know they're definitely guarding here. Phoenix is up in heaven, as he likes to do. I'm going to go ahead and keep an eye out for that. Manage to take him down. Now, we don't seem to have any more enemies around. We have our Rays pushing in through short. So I'm just going to come up here and try and guard off heaven. Rays is watching the short. Unfortunately, I don't think anyone's watching long at this point. But it works out for us. Managed to get up to heaven here. Rays taking out a Cypher on short, but she gets taken out by their Sage. I managed to pick the Reyna up in heaven. And now we've just got Jet down here playing along the wall. She's revealed, so I go for a shot, but with the Sage wall there, not much I can do. So she's going to go ahead and pop up here, but my aim isn't good enough to take her out midair. So I'm just looking for a chance to pop her, but I see her run around the corner. So I saw her retreat, and I say, alright, that's going to be the end of it. Just wait for that to reach a point where she can't defuse and run away. And that's going to be another win for us. Even going in 4v5, we managed to take it. Good stuff. And now we are 8-9, looking pretty good, almost tied up. We just have to take the next round, and we'll be looking good. So I go ahead and refill my light armor. Still got my Vandal. And now my economy is going to be looking a lot stronger because I don't have to buy my gun this round. So this is where things really start to turn around, I guess. As our economy gets stronger, we have all 5 of our people. We're playing a little bit more cohesively. We can actually start doing some better pushing here. A little bit better strategery. And so I'm going to go ahead and take out short there. Make sure they're not getting a line of sight on me as I come through mid. Now, I do play this a little bit aggressively. I really didn't check my corners there, but just based on the playstyle of the team, I figured they wouldn't be there. Luckily, that op shot misses, and I go ahead and take it off of her. So that's going to be a big boost to the economy if I can keep it. Basically, having an op is going to allow me to not spend a lot while having basically the best gun in the game. So really good stuff here. Now I'm just going to go ahead and keep an eye on these stairs here. Sage does go ahead and block off my line of sight, unfortunately.
Coming from B-long.
So I try and get up here, but I miss my jump, so I have to teleport up. See Cypher come through, go for a shot, but he backs up through the corner. Now my team is going to just go ahead and collapse on him. Our Phoenix taking out 2 of them. I come back up to try and help out. And I see the Jet going for a knife fight with our Phoenix. If this wasn't ranked, I probably would have just let them fight it out, but honestly, I just wanted to get the round over with because we're already losing as bad as it is. It didn't really feel like letting that draw out. So I managed to keep the op. Now I've got it for this round. We went flawless last round, so our economy is looking really good, whereas the opponents is not looking super good. So we do have a big advantage to push at this point. Even though it is 9-9, as long as we can keep that advantage rolling, we'll be looking pretty good coming into the next couple rounds before their economy manages to fully recover. So we're going to go ahead and push up on A here. Now I know that Phoenix likes to play up in heaven. So I'm going to go ahead and peek that first. Nothing there. So I see, all right, I'm going to go ahead and move over. But Cypher marks it, so I assume that there's someone there. I see the Jet. I'm going to go ahead and take her out as she comes up. Reyna's Evil Eye comes through. Missed my shot, unfortunately, but managed to pick her off there. So now it is a 4v3. We've taken 2 down here on site, which means that there's probably only 1 or no people left. So we're able to come up and look for the plant, but unfortunately they managed to rotate around. Sage gets a nice wall up there, so they have a little line of sight, whereas we don't have much. So I'm forced to back up here. I'm in her slow, which really hurts, but I do manage to take out Cypher as I'm backing up. Now I look for the Jet, but miss the shot and get taken out on the side from Sage. So now it's all up to our Phoenix here. He manages to take out the Sage, so now it's just 1v1, him and Jet, and he manages to clutch it out, which is beautiful. Now I'm not sure if a spike plant after you win actually gives you more credits, but if it does, then he managed to boost our economy there. And now my economy is looking so good, I can just go ahead and start taking ops. As long as I'm getting some kills, I can go ahead and keep it up. And we are up 10-9 for the first time in this game. We're actually winning, and it's pretty close to the end, which is good. That means that we are really pressing the advantage when it matters. We only need 3 more wins at this point to take it. So I'm going to go ahead and smoke off short again, and then go for the mid push as I've done before. Check my angles, looking for any sort of enemies there. See the Reyna coming through, managed to pick her off. Now I hear someone approaching from the right, so I look over and I see Cypher, but I missed my shot and he manages to take me out. So I call him out to my team and hope they can go ahead and pick him off for me. So we'll hear here, call out the broken door so that they know that that's where he's approaching from. Phoenix goes for the flash, and they manage to take him out, but unfortunately not until after he takes out our Phoenix. A trade is okay, though, as long as we're pressing the advantage. So now it's 2v2, but they have to retake still, so we do have a little bit of an advantage. We also know where they're coming from and be long. So looking pretty good here as long as they can't get into defuse. We see the Sage Orb come out, and our Raze manages to miss all of her shots there. Cypher takes it down to a 1v1 though. Jet comes out above him, and he manages to finish it off. That was beautiful. Now he's running away before it explodes, but luckily the round ends before it can kill him. So now I can still afford my op this round, so I'm going to go ahead and come back in with it. We are up 11-9 at this point, so looking pretty solid. Up 2 rounds on our opponent, only 2 rounds away from winning. So they have a lot of pressure on them at this point. And that's what's nice about coming back towards the end of the game, is there's actually more pressure on the opponents to keep up their winning streak than there is on you if you were losing at the beginning to come back. So still, I know Phoenix likes to play up there, so I go for the peek and manage to take him out. Our Phoenix flashes me, which was unfortunate. We're going to go ahead and move in. We've got a slow orb coming out from their Sage, so I decide to go ahead and smoke off Heaven. That way she can't really approach us and break the wall. Another slow orb coming out, slowing us down. Everyone's just staying inside the slow orb, which manages to work out for them, but it's kind of dumb. I try and catch her, but she was too far in the corner, or he, rather, Cypher. But now we're 3v1, the Reyna is the only one left, so I come into plant. We've blocked off the door, and at this point, I could hear her walking over there in long, so I just go ahead and take up a good position to watch for her. Cypher throws up his trap, and now we're just waiting for her to show up so we can finish off the round, and that is that. So 12-9, we're at match point. I still have my op, which is nice. And we're looking pretty solid here. Coming into the end. Didn't even take any damage on my armor, so I'm looking really good. Check if any of my allies rather need me to buy anything for them, but all of our economies are looking pretty solid. So we're coming in here with pretty good prospects, but they are probably expecting us at A at this point because we have pushed it the last couple of times. So things can't always be that easy. So we're going to go ahead and come in here. Once again, I'm going to go ahead and look for my little Phoenix buddy. Cypher cam comes out and doesn't get taken out immediately. Phoenix flashes me again, so I go for a shot, but obviously there was no one there. So our little Raze bot lets us know there's someone in the corner, so I come up and try and peek the jet, but unfortunately I get opt from up in heaven. Now it's just 1v4, definitely not looking good. Cypher ult comes out, and now Raze is revealed. He still comes out looking the wrong way. I don't know if she hadn't been seen yet, but if that's the case, why was he already running in? Kind of dumb, but I guess it worked out for him. So now 12 to 10, we still are in a pretty good position. They still need 3 more wins to take it, whereas we are just 1 away. Our economy is still looking really solid, so looking pretty good there. And I'm going to go ahead and play mid again. So we're going B this time, which again they might have been expecting since we just lost at A. But that's what we decided to do. So I'm going to go ahead and smoke off short once more and come in through mid here. Looking for anyone to pick off. Don't see anyone. This time I'm going to be a little smarter and play my angles. Come through here, check those out. Nothing going on. I think there might be an enemy over there, so I go ahead and pre-aim, but don't see anything. Unfortunately, I do get taken down by the Reyna there because I missed my op shot. So that is a big blow at the start of the round. Now we're 3v5, and they are looking pretty strong in holding sight from us. Our Phoenix manages to take the jet down, so now we're 2v3. 1v3, our Phoenix, the only one left, versus their Sage, Reyna, and Phoenix. So he decides to go ahead and hold back. He's not looking to die immediately, so he drops back to spawn and is looking for a different way of approach. So he's going to come up, play through mid here. He knows they are guarding B because that's where the spike is. I go ahead and look at something there. I don't know why. But he's moving in here, and he actually plays this pretty well with his angles. At least how it works out. I don't know how well he was actually playing them, but he's going to go ahead and come in here. Doesn't see anyone on the left. He's going to go ahead and check the right. Doesn't see anyone. Manages to move in here. Checking his angles. Not super well, but he does manage to catch the Sage out. Backs up as the Phoenix fires at him, but unfortunately Reyna is playing in her favorite corner and manages to take him out. So it was a pretty good try. Go ahead and throw that in chat. Now we are 12 to 11, which is a little bit scarier. If they manage to take this last point, we are going to be put into overtime. I've been avoiding taking the spike up till this point because I was top fragging on the team, and I just kind of wanted to focus on getting some kills and letting my teammates come in and plant. But at this point, it hadn't been working, so I decided to go ahead and grab the spike. So we're going to go ahead and move in on A again. I think in retrospect we might have been playing a little bit predictably, but it was working out for us, so what can I say? We see that the Phoenix is up there in his favorite spot. Try and wallbang him, but don't quite get it. So our team's playing here. They managed to rotate around, kill our Phoenix, and I actually know there's someone there, so I go for the shot, but unfortunately our Sage actually blocks my shot. Could have potentially been a kill there, not sure. But they break the wall. Phoenix going for a flash, so I look out. No one to follow up on. Their Phoenix actually manages to take out our Cypher, but I know where he is now, so I'm just waiting for him to pop out. Meanwhile, my team is rotating, and I do manage to get the shot off on him. So now 2 of our team are rotating it short. Raze is back there as well. I decided to come back to support Sage. Sorry, Sage, not Raze. And they're asking for Sage to rotate, so she's going to go ahead and fall back here. I'm going to go ahead and come with, but I'm going to come back around short. I think Sage is rotating towards B for some reason. I don't know what she was doing there. But I'm going to come in and support my people here. So the door is up, so I'm going to go ahead and break that. Move in. We get the cyber cage. Wasn't sure if I could break it, so I figured I might as well try. I'm going to go ahead and move up here to support my teammates instead of trying to push through that cage alone. We're 3v1 at this point, so we just need to find the Cypher, and that'll be a win. I go for the plant here, and boom, that is the end. Good stuff. So that was my first ranked game in Valorant, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun, and I hope to bring you more content like this in the future. So make sure to subscribe if you have not already, and leave a comment down below if you have anything you'd like to talk about. Thanks for watching.